Welcome to this week's episode of the Feeney Call. Tonight we're going to have on Donovan Price, the driver of the number 96 Super Stock at Peterborough Speedway. Donovan's driven a bunch of classes, a bunch of cars, a bunch of tracks. Brother of Dan Price, who we had on earlier this season. I get to personally race against Donovan every single week. Pretty good guy. We keep pretty lighthearted. The jokes definitely flow mostly Donovan's way. But so yeah, brief recap after my week. First heat in the super stock started outside Donovan. Um, Convinced Donovan to make a rookie mistake and let me get the win. So first heat win of the year for me. Second heat race in the super stock. I had to start in the back. I think I had to start seventh or eighth in the heat, and I worked my way up to fourth. That made me top qualifier. Which is cool because I never top qualified in the super stock before. So that's good. Speaking that the program's not even fully put together yet. The mini stock, I placed second and third in the heats after a couple big wrecks in the first heat. A couple guys weren't even able to continue after those wrecks. The cars were pretty torn up. Feature time, I think, fell down to seventh or eighth. I gotta go through that car and reset up everything. It's just not where I like it. Feature time in the super stock, I had to start six after rolling a dice roll of six. Starting on the outside of Peterborough is never easy. And we were able to get up to third early enough that I was able to ride there until Miles got around me, and then Paul ended up spinning out after a little bit of contact with Miles, and I got back up to third, and I just unfortunately didn't have anything for Mark or Miles that night. So it is what it is. Top qualifier and third place finish 2 nights into the year. It's better than I thought I would do, especially doing the double duty. So it's a whole new learning curve of driving the two cars at once. Um, the mini stock and the super stock are two completely different animals. They don't drive anything close to the same. The brakes are different. The gas is like there's nothing in the car that drives the same. Even the steering wheels don't feel different because one has power steering, one doesn't. So there's not much relatable other than they have four tires. But with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna bring on Donovan Price, and we're gonna talk to him about some lighthearted moments. I have a few fan questions that we've already been laughing at almost all day, so hopefully you guys enjoy them. If you guys have any fan comments or questions, go ahead. If he's watching this, he'll probably check out the YouTube comments or stuff like that once in a while. I'll make them until he wins a race. I think he's responsible for going back and watching the comments and stuff like that. So without further ado, we're going to bring on Donovan Price. All right, this week's guest is Donovan Price, driver of the number 96, I think it's Chevy Camaro Superstock.
Yep.
So why don't you give us a brief introduction of where you started at and all the things you've driven through to get to where you are now?
Oh, geez. Well, I've been racing for 26 years on and off. I've raced for fun, go-karts, open wheel modifieds, late models, mini stocks, legends, super stocks, go-karts.
Did you say modifieds?
Yep. Did
Oh, yeah.
modified for 2 years at Mossport.
So you've driven a bunch of cars and now you've landed in the super stocks. Um, what's been the reason for changing so much? Like I'm the same way. Is it just like you're chasing to find what you like driving the most, or just what you can afford at the time, or maybe you want to have a little bit more fun in a different class or race against a certain person, or
Well, I raced for 4 years and then I took some time off because I had a family and then got divorced. And then basically a Thunder card fell in my lap, so I grabbed that. Then I traded that later on, got a Legend, then traded the Legend for a mini stock, and then just playing around mini stocks. I'm like, I missed the 8-cylinder, so I got back in super stock. In between there, I was driving some of Dan's cars at Kawartha when he was out doing hydro stuff. I'd hot lap it for him, get it ready.
yeah. So you got to drive the iconic '57 Chevy. I'm
Yes, I did.
jealous because I was supposed to drive that, and I had to back out of the deal because I just couldn't afford at that time to do double duty with the
I
late
ran
models
that.
and the hot rods.
I ran that at Mossport once, and then I'd always hot lap it for him at Kawartha when he's coming back from Ottawa when he's doing all the apprenticeship for Hydro One.
So,
And
does that car drive better than most of yours, or did your cars drive better than that one?
they're all the same back then.
Yeah, all metric cars don't want to turn in the center.
Exactly.
This would be a bad time to tell you that I drive a metric car, right?
Oh, whatever. I'm still trying to get used to leaf springs.
I know. I took full advantage of that.
It's
So
a totally different animal.
yeah, you have to be very smooth in a leaf spring car. I've heard.
Oh, very smooth. I'm used to the crates where you could just hammer on the gas and with the coil spring. Now I got a leaf spring and a built motor. I just got to change my whole driving style now. It's like starting all over again.
Yeah. But it's nice to have all that power at your disposal, and because like that motor sounds pretty healthy.
Oh, it's healthy. It's got a lot of pep to it.
Yeah, it's got enough that you could cut the grass in the new record time.
Oh yeah, somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, I know David Rock would be mad if I didn't bring up the gas cutting skills at least once.
Oh, he's not the only one.
I think we've all mentioned it at least once or twice.
Oh, yeah, and it probably will happen again. So I don't care.
But if you don't spin a car, right, you're not really pushing it to the limit because you've never found it, right?
Exactly. It's the only way to find out what the car can do. Push
Yeah,
it to its limits and back off next time.
maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
It might stick better if it's cooler out.
Yeah, you never know until you try it.
So a lot of people I've been asking lately as I've been getting used to doing the podcast things. Um, you've driven a lot of divisions. Who are some of your favorite people to drive against in like some of the divisions you've been in?
Oh, I think everybody's my favorite. I'm just happy to be on the track and drive with people. I don't really have anybody that I hate driving with. Like I know when I raced mini stock, it was fun driving with James Townsend and Tyler Junkin. Those guys would always give me a little bit of room, or coming down to the end, they'd give us a little bump in here and there. But I enjoy racing with everybody. I'm just happy to be on the track.
Happy to be turning left. So
Yep.
where do you see your racing career going? Do you see yourself staying in super stock for a while? Do you see yourself jumping over to like a thunder car on dirt? Like, where do you see yourself in the next few years? Depending on how this car goes.
Well, the plan was I was going to do some dirt racing this year. I was going to sell my super stock and get a dirt car, but then things changed really quick, and I'm back in the super stock and asphalt, and I'll probably stick out this for a bit, and who knows? If I get rid of the car, I might just do something to get my youngest kid into racing, or I might do something on dirt. I've got no idea.
Yeah, you're in the time where it's almost time to put one of the kids in the car, and super stock mate I don't think is a good starter class. Like, yeah, you could start them there, but I feel like it'd be discouraging, especially with how like close our field is. Like, to be 3/10 off, you feel like you're freaking got an anchor at the back.
I'd put him in a bone stock and take him to the track on open track nights just for the first year, get him used to it. Then I'd probably put him in the bone stocks and then eventually move him up. That's what I would do.
See, I like the mini stocks for someone to learn on like an open track night because those tires have a little extra grip. So if they do push a little harder, they can still kind of not hit the wall. Where I find the bone stock, as soon as you over push it, there's no bringing it back.
Yeah, that's the way you learn though.
Yeah, but that means you have to also fix the car the next week. So
Part of
I
the
guess
learning
that's
curve.
like that's where they start calling up Uncle Dan and get the welders out and
Yep. Well, Uncle Dan's his favorite driver, anyways.
yeah, I have heard that Uncle Dan is the favorite driver a
Yeah.
few times.
When he was
But
younger, see, Car, let's go to the racetrack. And he'd say, "Are we going to watch Uncle Dan race?" I'm like, "No, we're going to watch Dad race." He goes, "I want to watch Uncle Dan race."
so you and your brother have a pretty you guys are both fun loving guys, really lighthearted at the track, always there for a good time. How is it that you guys both ended up like that? And like you guys are very different personalities. Like he's very like hands on in the car and stuff like that, and you're kind of like I should probably check the gas cap once in a while.
More than once in a while in the gas cap.
So
No, I growing up, there was nobody in our family racing. In grade 6, my dad took me to a racing school through one of the companies he's working for, and it was Ron Fellows, and it was at Mossport. And I went around the track in one of Ron Fellows' Trans Am, sitting on a milk crate in the passenger seat, holding on for dear life, shifting his gears, and that got me hooked on racing. And then later on, Dan went to a Mossport with the guy to help out in the racetrack, and he fell in love with it, and he got a race car. He actually built it himself. And then I crewed for him for the first year. And after that, I'm like, I got to give this a go now. So I took all my college money and bought a race car.
That seems like the more reasonable way to go.
So, yep.
School race car, same thing.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned the Ron Fellows experience. So last week I was up there doing the Ron Fellows driving school with the Corvettes and stuff like that. So Sam was actually doing the driving instructing, not Ron. They had a emergency in the family or something like that. But driving those new Z06s around that track, I think we were like 268 km/h down the back straightaway, and the tires are just slipping in the marbles. I'm like, don't wreck the Corvette! Don't wreck the Corvette! Don't wreck the Corvette!
When I
Have
was when I was in grade 6, I could go like 15 kilometers an hour around the track and it'd feel fast. But I know Ron was just giving the gears and he was flying. He had a blast. It was even before Sam was born. That's how old I am.
getting old, buddy. But
Oh yeah.
is that something you would ever want to get into? Is like road course racing, or do you want to get into like to do some like drag racing? Did you want to like check a demo derby off your list? Is there any like motorsports you want to get into?
I've always wanted to do road racing. Always. That's one of the things I've always wanted to give a shot at. I love go-kart racing on the tracks, and road racing's always caught my eye. It's something I've wanted to do.
So
Don't get into it.
maybe we gotta get a Peterborough Speedway like chump car together, and a few of us go out and do a chump car or something like that.
Oh yeah, that'd be a blast. You know what? Be adventures.
Yeah, it'd be adventures, but it's the biggest thing is road course racing is so expensive compared to grassroots oval track racing.
Oh yeah, big time.
Everyone's like, "Oh, it's the cheapest way to get into it. It's like a $2,000 entry fee for the weekend." It's like, how's that cheap? That's half my late model budget. Like,
That's almost the whole budget for racing for the year.
yeah. Well, back when I first started driving late models, a set of tires was shy of $800.
Yeah,
So like, you have a heat set and you have a feature set, and when the heat set got less than the feature set, then he switched it over. Like,
exactly.
and like, I started in super stock on your brother's like pile of tires he hated because he had that the Troyer mod that he put the small tires on once and said never again,
Yep.
because that's when he started Oscar and the OMRS was running the 8-inch recaps.
Yeah.
That was the best day ever for me. He hated those tires so badly. I got like $300 in free tires.
Thank you very much.
Right? Your brother's been good to both of us,
Oh yeah.
including kicking your car out so I could hang the body on my car. So
Yeah, he's been he's helped me out a lot over the last few years. More credit than people think. Like if I need something, he'll open up a shop and say, "Bring it in, let's fix it." Or if I'm at the track and he's somewhere else, I can always text him, say, "Hey, the car's doing this. What do I do?" And he kind of chuckles. He's like, "How long you been doing this for?" I'm like, "So long I don't even know how to set up a car." I'll admit that. I just like driving them.
yeah. Well, now that you're working with a leaf spring car, the setup's completely different too, right? So is this the
Yeah,
first time you've driven leaf spring car, or is it one of
I
your
had
other old
one
cars?
I had one at Kawartha. I raced like 3 times, but that doesn't really count as like a leaf spring car really to me. It's more a race car now I have. The nice thing is there's only 2 load bolts instead of 4, so I can't really mess that up.
Well, you could.
Leave it to me, I will. There's a
Yeah,
reason why they call me the donk.
you definitely are the donk.
Oh yes.
As long as they don't start calling you badonkadonk, then you're fine.
Oh, I don't have one of them, so it won't happen.
No, not anymore. Yet, what was that? Beginning of COVID, you started getting into your Muay Thai, Tai Chi, or whatever the hell you're into.
It was just before COVID I started doing the kickboxing and lost 100 pounds.
Yeah. Lost 100 pounds. Now you're having fun going like fighting in the rings, slipping on the mat, dislocating
Oh
your
yeah.
shoulders.
Yeah, I've been told by my coach and a couple other people, no fighting during race season this year. They want me to do a full season of racing. Then come September, October, I'll be back in the ring fighting again.
Well, that's kind of good because then you separate it and you have something to do in the winter and it doesn't intermingle, right?
Oh, but
Because
it's killing me not fighting right now.
well, just piss somebody off at the track, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
So I'm
or
gonna get
the front straight.
yeah, I'm gonna get into a couple of these fan questions that half
Oh,
where you
geez.
laughed at half of them.
Oh,
I don't know if you've seen all of them yet. So
I thought hopefully.
I have from Dave Bragg. He wants to know your favorite track to race at, your favorite division to race in, and the favorite drivers to watch.
Well, my favorite track is Peterborough, and my second favorite track is Flamborough. Every time I go to Flamborough, I've always had good luck there. I enjoy it. And I love watching the junior late models. I like watching the up and coming kids coming up through. It's always fun to watch. Like I watched Danny Benedict go from mini stock all the way up to pro late model, and that's been fun. It's just fun watching all the new talent come in.
So what was your favorite division to like race?
Um, I had fun in mini stock. I won a lot of races in there, but I've always had the best fun running super stock, 8 cylinders. Modified was fun too, but I did that for a couple of years. But super stock is just a totally different animal. I love it.
Super stocks I find because how heavy they are, they're you have to really wheel them. And that's kind of why I like driving them. It's you have to kind of put the talent into it at the same time you have to have a good car. Like you I find in late models, unless you have a super good car, you can only make up so much with talent, right? Like
Yeah,
you're not taking a 14-year-old pro late model with all used brakes, used springs, and all that stuff, and out qualifying Danny Benedict, who's a top notch driver with a top notch piece of equipment. It's just not going to happen.
no, there's no
Um,
smooth drives in super stocks. You're up on the wheel all the time.
yeah, if you get lazy on the wheel in super stocks, you're going around, especially
Yeah,
with this new recap tire. What do you think of the new recap tires at Peterborough?
I don't mind it. It's great on the wallet. 800 bucks for a set of tires.
And I
Um,
noticed that they're a little bit faster night two out. They didn't slow down at all.
no, the more you race them, the faster they get.
So you're the first guy I've had on that races the same tire I do, so I can actually talk about it.
I enjoy it.
So more super stock guys are watching. You got two guys that like the tires. Just don't dope them or they will come apart.
Exactly.
Which
And no,
reminds me,
I didn't buy any tire dope.
that's
Nope, I
not
didn't. No,
your
that's a big no.
your brother says that there's a couple jugs sitting by his place that you ordered.
I can afford that crap.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You got to buy race fuel now for that belt motor.
Oh,
Um,
geez, that's another story.
so Randy Patterson wants to know if it came down to the last lap for the win between you and Dan, are you moving Dan Price out of the way?
I'm not going to say yes. I'm not going to say no. But all I'm going to say is, if it was him, what would he do? He'd dump his brother.
I don't think he would dump you. I
He
think he
would
would
dump.
move you.
Yeah, he wouldn't dump. He'd just give me the old bump and run and push me a little harder going the corner. So like, whatever. It is what it is. We've always raced hard against each other. We've only raced one season in the same class together, and maybe that was a good thing. It's sometimes we get off the track and we want to kill each other, or we get off the track and just laugh. And
That's brothers though. I with my
yeah,
brother, I was the same way. We'd race harder than anybody else to the point where friggin' I'm pretty sure there was Nerf bars being destroyed at Autumn Colors for no good reason.
we could be racing last for last place, and we'd probably be beating the doors off each other like Days of Thunder down the beach, just pounding each other just because.
I agree that you won't let me drive, and you agree that you won't let you drive.
Yeah,
One
pretty
of
much.
those. So I have another one from Randy Patterson. If money was not an object, what series would you like to go try?
If money wasn't an object, I would probably still stay in where I am, but travel a lot. Just do what Dan does all the time. Just pick up and go. Let's go to a different track here. Let's go to a different track there. But I'd also really like to get my kid into racing, so I'd probably take all the money and get him into something racing, and I'd have a lot more fun watching him come up through the rankings. Probably get a lot more pleasure out of that. But if I really had to do something, I'd really love to run a Craftsman's truck or something like that. And those trucks, they just look like fun to drive.
Yeah, we'll have to talk to J.R. Fitzpatrick to find out how we'll get into one of those.
Way over my head.
Right? Let's see. What else do I got here? Can't say that one. To do. Erica wants to know who your favorite sister is.
Geez, I don't even know if I have a sister.
So the funny part about that is I think you were there for this. Um when I, when Dan was actually introducing me to you before we actually met. And he goes, "Oh, this is my brother, same father, same mother, but no relation."
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you've heard that one before.
Oh yeah, I've always heard too. Hey, look, it's Cowboy's little brother.
So like, do you get like a junior cowboy hat, like a freaking Toy Story freaking cowboy hat, and just go with that? And that's the donk hat?
No, I don't look good in cowboy hats.
No, no, you get like the Toy Story one, like the one that's like the small one.
Nah.
So I snuck onto your Facebook page.
Oh geez, I know what's coming.
Katie wants to know if your new car has a gas cap reminder.
I don't need a gas cap reminder anymore because enough people remind me at the track.
Including people that forgot to check theirs.
But yeah,
So if Jeremy actually watches this, check your gas cap, Jeremy. You slowed us down. That's Donovan's job.
I had a good laugh at that one.
Oh, yeah, I was sitting there starting. I'm like, what are we waiting for? Like, this is a lot of pace laps for. I'm like, maybe they're just trying to let us get some heat in the tires or something like that because it started to cool off a bit. Um, Sean says you need to check your hood pins too.
Yeah, that was from like a few years ago when him and I were racing. I got in the back of him, my hood flew off in the back straight at Peterborough, but I only ran hood pins on the back of my hood, and I broke them all off because I had a little lip on the front for the hood, and just the hood got air got under the hood and flipped up and just ripped her off. It's quite comical.
Yeah, but normally even if you run like the little insert and you still had a couple hood pins there.
Well,
Well,
maybe
normal people would.
well, yeah, normal people wouldn't, and normal people wouldn't give Sean a little extra bump, but just enough to make the hood bend and pass that little lip. It made for a good picture.
There are probably a lot of memorable pictures of Donovan Price out there. I can think of, was it you and the Integra that was like this in the front stretch wall?
Yeah, that was me. Yep, I got taken into the wall, turn force wall 2 weeks in a row,
So
and then he stopped.
what's one of the worst wrecks you've had? Because you've been in some pretty bad ones, but
My worst wreck would be probably in '99 racing at Mossport, coming to turn two, and I got hooked in the back corner and got turned head on to the back straight wall, and I fractured my back.
yeah, back injuries aren't fun.
No, it's still
I'm
bugging me this day.
yeah, I'm still nursing the one from I think second year of COVID for when I popped 3 discs in the one wreck. That
Yeah, yeah.
one's
I fractured my L4 in my back, so every so often I lose feeling in my feet. It's not fun.
that's why you go cut the grass. You just couldn't feel the gas pedal right.
We'll go with that.
Yeah. So there we go. We finally have an explanation, and that's what we're sticking with, right, Donovan?
Or JP just missed a spot, and I just wanted to clean it up for him.
You're such a nice guy.
Oh yeah, gotta help him out once in a while.
JP is very picky on that grass too.
Oh, I know.
The best part is you went down to go cut the grass where I cut it with the mini stock the same week.
Well, the best part was too, as I'm sliding through the grass, I see the photographer's taking pictures. I'm waving to him as the car's sliding by him.
Well, yeah, because I'm that was follow me photography. That's JoJo's wife, I think there, and she's like sitting there taking pictures of your car, but she's not used to moving cars yet, so she goes, "Crap, I need to move. I need to move." But the pictures.
Oh, I was waving too. It was quite comical. I was having a blast.
So, you do a lot of kid friendly things with your car and stuff like that. You'll go to charity events and stuff like that. What's some of the favorite non-racing things that you can kind of bring your race car to that you like doing?
Oh, jeez. We did a fun fair last year for the kickboxing, and that was a blast. Having all the kids sit in the car, take pictures. I just like doing that kind of stuff. Whatever puts a smile on a kid's face, all it counts. Maybe one day down the road, they'll jump in a car.
Yeah, that's how I started. I jumped in Rudy Oppersma's super late model at Mossport when I was like 2 years old.
Good old
Uh,
Rudy, that guy.
yeah, he was one of the biggest hearted people you ever meet, unless you pissed him off, and,
Exactly.
and then run.
I knew Rudy for years and years and years.
Yeah,
Good guy.
basically, basically since I was born, we knew Rudy. He worked on Dad's truck, so if you went to the old shop where the rafter was cut out above the one
Yep.
hoist, that was
Yep.
cut from my dad's tow truck.
Oh, geez.
Rudy cut that just so my dad's tow truck beacons wouldn't hit.
That was the top on Western Road, wasn't it? You had it back,
Yeah,
go up. Oh, yeah.
yeah. So I'm going to give you a few minutes here so you can maybe talk about what some of your plans are for where you want to go race this year. Are you going to do any traveling? Maybe the quick series this week. Um, and then I'll give you a chance to thank your sponsors and maybe where people can find you on social media, merchandise, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, my plans for this year, I don't know if I'll do any of the quick stuff. As of now, I won't. It's just the tires aren't in the budget right now. So I'm going to try to get the full season at Peterborough. It's been a while since I've run a full season. It just all depends on work and stuff. So right now, I've been pretty fortunate that the race weekends don't overlap my work weekends, since I have to work every fifth week, which kind of sucks. And my work even sponsors the car, so I try to get her that way, but it doesn't work most times. But yeah, I just plan to try to run as many races as possible at Peterborough. I'm debating autumn colors this year. I've missed it for I think last time I ran it was my mini stock, so we'll see how that goes. And that's what I'm hoping, depending if I'd have a fight or not on that weekend or not.
So I said, where can people find you on social media and stuff like that?
You can find me at Facebook, Donovan Price Racing, or just Donovan Price, or on Instagram, it's Donovan Price. But most of my stuff's all on Facebook. I keep everybody pretty much up to date on my racing stuff there. Try my best.
So do you have any like I see you wearing the shirts and stuff? Where can people get the shirts off you?
Oh, they can just message me and I can order them. They're $20 and it takes about a week or so to get them and I can ship them out.
So why
I've
don't you
been
lean
like,
back so people can see them, buddy?
well, it's backwards though.
No, it's proper on here.
Oh, okay. Well, my end is backwards, but yeah.
Everything on your end is backwards. Let's face this.
Well, that's I'm dyslexic.
Yeah, that explains a lot. Hey, I have a great idea for you. You should get a lawnmower sponsor like Toro or something like that.
Yeah, probably. I've
Because
tried.
that said, if you get like a small engine or something like that'd actually be every time you go into the grass, there's like just Toro lawnmowers.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. I
Right?
I'd try it.
So
Send them a picture.
if
Here I am,
anyone
cut the grass.
yeah, if anyone has any like lawn equipment that they're looking to sponsor race car like John Deere or anything like that, Jonathan's definitely looking for money.
Oh yeah, always looking for money.
Yeah.
Always.
Weird how race cars just guzzle every bit of money you have.
Oh, I've been pretty fortunate this year though that when I got my new car, I said, "Oh, it's going to cost me a lot more money to go racing." So I went out and I all winter long as after sponsors and sponsors and sponsors, and they jumped on this year big time. It's probably the most sponsor I've ever had for racing, which is very good.
Yeah, it's weird. You're at the most, and right now I'm at the least I've had since I've started. It's people with budgets after COVID. It's like, do we spend the money and stuff because people are still unsure? I have a bunch of people that they want to come on, but they just haven't sent money or anything yet. But it's one of those things. It's like, guys, like I haven't put numbers on the passenger side of my car yet.
I,
We're working on it, but
all I do for sponsors is when I go out and look for sponsors, I know that majority of them will say no, so I'm prepared for it. but I just tell them like I'm not going to give you a number. It's whatever you can afford.
Yeah.
Sometimes sponsors give me the money. Other times, like they just give me exchange. We barter for stuff, and it all works out in the end. It's
Yeah.
great.
I'm the same way. That's like with Liquid Molly. I don't get money from them. I get all my oils and stuff like that. But that's a huge savings for us when we're changing oil every couple weeks and changing
Oh yeah,
rear gear fluid, trans fluid. Where are you getting your gas now for that super stock? Because you're running 110, aren't you?
I split it. I get run 110 and pump.
So are you going to the reserve to pick that up, or
No, I just buy that from Carbelt and Pickering, just down the street from my work. I've been buying race car stuff from them for years, so they help me out.
that's not bad then.
Yeah,
See,
but it's so expensive as heck.
yeah, that's where I'm cheap. So like when I was running the Quick, I'd throw a little bit of the 110 in there just because the long run, I like it burns a little colder, so the car wouldn't get hot. Um, but yeah, I'd run up to the reserve, grab like a can of freaking 110 for like $140, but frick, that's expensive.
It's like 160 right now for a can, but the engine builder of the car, he tells me what to put in it, and I put it in. He knows the best about it. So if I
Yeah,
want the motor to last long, I got to listen to him.
yeah, and especially people don't realize when you're running like super stocks, especially like people are graduating from bone stocks, that the maintenance on these things is huge.
Oh yeah, big
Like,
time.
like it's 40 hours a week to do a proper maintenance schedule. And obviously sometimes we don't get it done, but like especially because you're working all the time, I'm working all the time. It's like sometimes you got to like, all right, well, we don't have to do this week. Sometimes we don't do this.
Or
But
we're doing it at the track.
yeah, I just put two new shocks in the front car because one of mine was leaking on Saturday. So, well, it's not the right shock rate, but it's one that holds fluid.
That's all that matters.
So, we were talking on Facebook a little bit about doing a giveaway. So, why don't you tell us how you're going to give it away and what you're going to give away?
Oh, geez. I'll give away a T-shirt, and if I'll give whoever can answer how many feature wins I've won in my long racing career, and I'll give it a week, and I'll put all the names in a draw and pull a winning name.
Okay. So, just to clarify, how many feature wins since you've started in all divisions?
Yep.
Dan, you can't answer this because you know what the answer is. But and then you're gonna draw a name at the release of the next episode or next Friday or whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Then I'll get a hold of the person and find out what size their shirt is, and I'll get it made up and send it to them.
So just so you know, message Donovan, don't message me. A lot of people for these contests message me, I just forward them through, but hopefully they've listened to us this long. I'm hoping that are you gonna be at the track this weekend watching or you
No, I have my kids this weekend, and I haven't seen them probably in almost a month. So I'll
yeah,
watch the racing on G-Force, listen to Adam, do all the call and stuff like that. But yeah, I'd rather spend some time with my kids this weekend since it's Father's Day.
I forgot about that. I should probably go get something. Um, but but I do love how funny it gets watching G-Force when it's Adam, Clinton, and Charlie in the booth at one time.
Oh, it is funny as heck.
Hey, have you ever thought about going in the booth with like your lightheartedness, just like maybe do some talking?
If I was asked, I'd probably try it out, but I don't know. Nobody's
Hey,
ever asked me.
you haven't asked either, though, right? You know how it
Yeah,
goes
I
in
guess.
racing. If you don't ask, you don't. So,
Yeah, but
so
I'd do it. It'd be
yeah,
fun.
yeah. So, when do we race next? 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think it's July long weekend we race.
All right.
So we
So
have 2 weeks off, which is nice.
I'll see you then, obviously. Well, hopefully, because you're running actually pretty decent this year, as long as you don't fall for rookie mistakes.
Or try, yeah, like trying to outbreak you and going into turn one. Should have
I
just raced my own race, but whatever. Is what it is.
that
Live and
that
learn.
and the best part is Corey missed that video. Like he wasn't videotaping that race.
I know that was so disappointing. That was a fun race going door to door. We gave each other so much room. I come out of four a little squirrely. You took advantage of it and said, "Screw this! I'm gonna try out breaking them." And well, that didn't work too well.
Yeah, my car is set to dive. Your car is not.
I don't know what my car does yet.
It doesn't do that.
No.
But my plan was when I was going into 1 and 2, because I seen you with that big run. I'm like, he's gonna try to outbreak me, so I can't stay evil with him. So I'm like, I'm just gonna send it. I didn't hit the brakes until the scoreboard. I'm like,
I think I hit the brakes about a foot before you.
you needed 2 feet and you would have been fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I figured because my car, when I hit the brakes, it gets super tight, washes up a little bit. I figured when I did that, then I could diamond cut it because I figured you were going to back off or like Miles would get in the back of you or something like that. But it was fun running with you. It's nice that you got a little bit better car this year than you had last year. And I really want to see you get a checkered flag this year, even though, Lenny was asking when next time you're going to win is. Is
Uh,
that the
Me getting to the tracks is a victory.
is that kind of a goal though to see if you can get a heat win this year? Or
Oh yeah, it's every racer's goal to get a checker flag. You could
I
have the slowest car on the track, and you still go out there and you still think you can get that checkered flag.
I feel personally attacked with my neon right now. That thing is. Maybe we'll put your one of your boys in it one day. Let them go try it out on a Thursday.
Is it an automatic?
Nope.
Oh, geez, that's no.
All right, so you teach him how to drive stick, and then maybe we'll throw him in it.
Here, you put it in first gear and let the clutch out, and just hit it the floor.
Well, it's this one's pretty. It's got good, so you can actually do second when you take off, and then just shift up to third.
Yeah,
So realistically, you can only do one shift. So it's like driving a super stock.
I'm going to be teaching my girlfriend how to drive standard. I'm going to rent the track off JP one weekend. I'm going to put Tammy in the car and let her drive around the track. Just hope she doesn't go faster than me.
New lap record.
Oh, that would be funny as heck.
Okay, so what you have to do now that you're telling me this is when you do this, you have to film it and time it.
Oh, there will be filming, guaranteed.
And like maybe leave a gas cap off so people don't think it's just you.
If my kid's there, he reminds me every day. Still, when I talk to him, hey Dad, is the gas cap on? Is the gas cap on?
Or when you open the rad when it's hot and it blows over the friggin' back fence.
Oh, that was another adventure.
All right. So I said I'm hoping you're gonna have a good night. I know you gotta get up early here, get to work.
Yeah,
Freaking
but I'll just thank some of my sponsors though too before
I
we
already
go.
asked you to do that and you freaking slow.
Yeah,
Hurry up.
yeah. Well, I got Durham Muay Thai, racingcards.ca, C&B Bulk Water, GFL Environmental, Wilds Printing, Primo Vickerson Restoration and Renovation, Elaine's Books, JRB Engines and Performance, Stickers and Scuffs, Cedar Brook Valley Metalworks, R&J Tires, Carbelt Pickering, and that's it.
All right.
And
So
big shout out to my brother for helping me out so much.
so what I should ask this before we run out of time here. If you do have in the racing schedule where your work overlaps, is there thoughts about throwing your brother or maybe Danny Benedict in the car for the night?
When it comes to it, I'll ask somebody if I have to, but I don't think Danny would jump in the car. It's just he's not used to the car. Like I'm thinking he might not, but if I'd ask him, who knows?
Ask
And
your brother
Dan,
about the video with the modified.
and I don't know if my brother would get back in the car or not. He's enjoying the dirt so much, so who knows?
What you're
See what
saying
happens.
is we'll see which one of them say yes first.
Yeah, I got some people that I'd put in the car that I trust.
Yeah. And most of them are named Dan.
Maybe that's a sign.
Yeah. Have a good night, Donovan.
All right. Yeah.
Well, we thank Donovan Price for joining us this week and talking with us and reliving memories from this past weekend and other times. Um, First time doing an intro, so kind of weird for me. But I am looking for more guests to come on. I have a guest list of people that have said they wanted to be on, but with schedules and stuff like that, it's hard to meet up. So I try to record basically as many episodes as I can to try to get it ahead, but right now we're behind and stuff like that. So if you're interested in being on the podcast, message me on Facebook or etc. Um, I'll try to get. I try to mess or sorry, I try to record later at night because I work on the cars as long as I can. Like this one here, we're recording like 11 o'clock at night, started like 10:30. Um, so if you think you want to be on the podcast, we do this through Zoom. Um, so yeah, message me and stuff like that. We can start bulking up on episodes and stuff like that. Um, I'm not going to be saying no to many people. Uh, we're looking for demolition derby drivers, promoters, drag racers, promoters for that, oval track racers, dirt track racers. If you drive stadium super trucks, if you drive road course, I'm not saying no to any motorsports participant or promoter. If you want to come on here and you want to talk about either your performances or your seasons and stuff like that, or you want to talk about how can somebody get involved in motorsports and stuff like that at your track or stuff like that, hit me up. Let me know. We can try to grow this. One thing with trying to grow this is promotions and stuff like that. My friend over at Taylor to You Media and Design has made new tumblers for the Feeney Call. We're gonna have I think 3 or 4 designs coming out, which these new tumblers have the speakers, the Bluetooth speakers right on the bottom of the tumbler, which will be the best way to listen to your podcast. You can be sitting around the campfire and you can have the podcast going while you're having a couple drinks. And I think they're $40-ish out the door. And when she also is the same one that does my tumblers that are $30 out the door for the regular 20-ounce ones with no speaker. Um, the biggest thing is, yes, there are cheaper people with tumblers, but Taylor has excellent quality, and I prefer to give a good quality product out. So if it's a little bit more pricey than some of the people you see at flea markets and stuff like that, I'm sorry, but I choose quality over just being full of cheapness at the same time. So she uses a good quality product. She is very persistent on how everything looks. So if you're looking to get some top quality merchandise made up where it looks good, there's no burnt edges and stuff like that. She's a perfectionist. So this is why I use her. And she's probably one of the best merchandise people I've had for doing stuff. She's working on making shirts and stuff like that for me now and stuff like that. So if you want to support the podcast, there'll be a couple videos at the end here. Um, yeah, you can let me know if you want to get a tumbler. If you want to support the racing, we get one of those tumblers. Some of the other drivers like Dan Price have tumblers and stuff made by Taylor and stuff like that. But Jomo Media has tumblers and all that stuff. Um, the only way to keep racing going is drivers that are selling merch or selling merch because they need the money to race. Um, I'm no different. I sell merchandise. You guys keep me racing every year. I can't afford to drive super stock on the budget I have. Um, and you guys keep me going. The same as this podcast. The podcast doesn't really cost nearly as much as racing. There are some expenses and stuff like that that I'm working on taking care of and stuff like that. So that's another thing. If we want to see the podcast grow, which means I need to start spending money on more equipment and like probably a better computer and et cetera, et cetera. Um, I'm gonna have to sell some merchandise, unfortunately, to to grow. So if you like what you see, like what you hear, be greatly appreciated if you can help out. If not, no big deal. I'll keep going the way I'm going for as long as I can. But we need to get some more guests lined up and guests recorded. So with that being said, keep the rubber side down.